Okay, so I want to talk about synchronicities because they happen in my life all the time. They get me so excited and I bloody love them. So I had the most incredible synchronicity yesterday, which blew me away. So, just to give you a bit of context, at the weekend or on Friday, it was my birthday. And I was reaching an age where I thought, well, it just had me looking back at the rest of my life, my childhood. It's one of those sort of reflective moments. Um, and I was thinking about my dad, who's no longer around. He died 8 years ago. And I was thinking about, we're here, we die. What's the point? I've had a lot of conversations with my guides about purpose and why we're here. And, the question about legacy came into my head quite a lot over the weekend. And I was pondering, like my dad was an architect. It was his absolute passion and for sure his life purpose to be an architect. He lived and breathed it. And then I thought, but when he died, where's the evidence of that? Apart from obviously buildings that he's created, but there's nothing that I can visually see all the time that was left behind by him. So it had me questioning, what kind of legacy do we leave behind? Obviously, that's different for everybody. But anyway, so I sort of parked that question. And in my other work that I do, so I do operations work for different clients. I was with a client yesterday, and it's a beautiful, stunning estate in the countryside, and there are holiday lets and things like that. And some guests from a holiday let had not managed to get a taxi to get to the station, so I offered to take them to the station, and got chatting to them, discovered that they were architectural students. I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's funny because I was only thinking about my dad at the weekend, where are you studying? And they are studying at the exact architectural college that my dad studied at. And they said, oh, yeah, no one's ever heard of it. It's in London, but, no one ever really talks about it. It's quite unknown if you aren't into architecture. And I was like, yeah, I know, how bizarre. Anyway, and they started talking about, I told them and shared about my dad, and I shared about the era that he was at the college there. Turns out my dad was there at the same time as Led Zeppelin were there, which is super cool. Anyway, I was sharing about them and they were going, oh, right, yeah, that's like the golden era of this college. Like, it's amazing. And actually, we refer to the work of students from that era because it was all quite groundbreaking and exciting and interesting.